She got a fully funded scholarship but was refused the visa initially until she reached out to me. We reapplied and then she was approved. It just took 14 days for the visa, for the Canadian study permit to be approved. Now, you will watch the testimonial. I will tell you why she was rejected initially, what we did to get her approved again. So in case you're coming here for the first time, you're welcome to Drift. On this channel, we tell you everything you need to know about your Canadian study permit, and we will be introducing other study destinations all around the world because of what Canada is currently doing. Now, but it will amaze you to know that we have been getting visas approved. The reason why we don't post them is that people have refused to do video testimonials, but some have been doing. I'll be bringing updates to you, and we don't just want to post their portal view because other people will go and copy it and claim to be their work. So watch the testimonial, and then after the testimonial, I'll come back and give you the update. Thank you so much.
My name is Okweyemi, and I recently arrived in Canada for my master's degree program. So my first study visa was refused due to insufficient proof of fund, even though I had a scholarship. Fortunately for me, I came across Drip travel content on YouTube, and I decided to watch more of his videos because he was the only one who provided valuable insight to my own case, to my specific refusal case. So I reached out to him. I booked a session with Drift via email, and that marked the beginning of my success story, like my study visa approval journey. So what stood out for me with Drift was his passion. He was genuinely invested in the success of my application. So after my first section with him, I signed up for his mentorship program where he guided me through the application process. The truth is, Drift went above and beyond to ensure that I submitted a much stronger application than my first attempt. Beyond all of this, Drift was consistently sending me testimonials from his clients to encourage me, and even went ahead to pray for the success of my application on different occasions. So I will highly recommend Drift because he knows his onions, is dedicated, and is genuinely passionate about helping people to succeed. So if you have any issue with your visa application, whether rejection or you just want to start afresh, Drift have several services that he offers. So I will encourage you to reach out to him via email. I'll be dropping his email address towards the end of this video. I'll put it towards the end so you can reach out to him. Thank you.
Okay, the reason for her refusal was because of insufficient funds, despite the fact that she had a fully funded scholarship that covered for her tuition and even living expenses. But she was still refused. So how did we address it? And you know what? It will interest you to note that she even had money in her own account deposited by her husband, but it was still enough. She even made a tuition deposit, just a little portion of the tuition, but it was still not enough because her scholarship was to come in tranches, and some of them will only be activated when she gets the study permit. That's when the scholarship will be activated, when she gets the study permit. So she had to make a little tuition deposit of about 2,000 Canadian dollars, yet she was refused. So how did we address it? So most people don't know that if they say you have insufficient funds, it doesn't mean that you don't have money in your account. There are one or two things you should put into consideration. And a mistake most people do is that when they're on a fully funded scholarship, they don't do anything. They just relax. They don't put money in their account. So the money she had in her account was 10,000 Canadian dollars. It was not enough to cover up for living expenses. So what the visa officer looks at is that you have your school fees have been paid for, but can you cover up for your living expenses? At least show. Then what if the scholarship now has issues? How can you bear responsibility? Some people just say, I've seen somebody that was on a $70,000 MasterCard scholarship and she was still refused. So you have to put those things into consideration. So how did we address it? Number one, I was able to give her a solution whereby she added money in her account that could make up for living expenses and that will not serve as a lump sum. I introduced her to a financial institution that was able to put that money in her account. So if you need such services, please send a mail to me at Dryphtagency@gmail.com, and I'll respond to you. So I'll show you the financial institution that can put money into your account and give you the technique or the technology that you can use, that the funds will not be a lump sum considering the short frame of time that you have. Because she was refused on the 7th of November, we applied in December, and the visa came out in 2 weeks. So like I always say, when you are being refused for any reason, whether it's home ties, financial issues, make sure you address that first before you now begin to go and talk about your home ties and other reasons why you were refused. So the first thing we did was we started talking about her stipend and scholarship. So she said, I have secured a funding scholarship of 24,000 Canadian dollars per year for my 2 years master's degree program from the Department of Soil Science, College of Agriculture and Bioscience, University of Saskatchewan. Additionally, I have been awarded the International Tuition Differential Scholarship valued at 6,165 Canadian dollars. And they will be giving her 2,055 Canadian dollars per term. So she had 24,000 Canadian dollars for tuition. She also had International Tuition Differential Scholarship of 6,165 for the first year of her program. This scholarship will be applied for her once her study permit is approved. So that's where the mistake came. The visa officer doesn't care. His own is that he knows that this scholarship can fail. So they don't care whether you have a promissory note or you have a promise, a letter that says that we will give you scholarship. That's not their concern. They want you to be able to show at least your living expenses. Show that you have it in your account. Don't make that mistake. So in total, I have 30,165 Canadian dollars secured in funding for the first year of my studies, with additional 24,000 Canadian dollars secured for my second year. So first year 30,165, second year 24,000. I have attached the stipend and scholarship letter to the proof of funds section of my application for your review. In my initial application, I submitted the letter separately. However, contacting my advisors, she mentioned her advisor's name, I received the combined scholarship letter to provide a clearer overview of my financial support. So first of all, she submitted the financial letters separately, but now she combined them both for first and second semester, for the first year and second year, and she added them. Then she now talked about her commitment to her studies. Then the next thing is payment of tuition deposit. To demonstrate my financial preparedness, I've already paid a 2,000 Canadian dollars deposit for winter term tuition. So in this school, they only accept term by term payment. It's not like some schools that accept the entire payment. So you must be able to explain to the visa officer that this is my condition, this is what's happening, so that they will not look at it and say, this is what has happened. So you must know that, right? Deposit. This deposit covers the tuition for the winter 2025 term, as I have successfully secured a 2,055 Canadian dollars in international tuition differential scholarship, which will be applied once my study permit is approved. I have not yet made payments for the spring and fall terms, as the University of Saskatchewan requires tuition to be paid per term. So the scholarship she secured of 2,000 and the tuition deposit covers for the terminal fees. And so the next term, the spring and the fall term, or the winter and the fall term, she has not paid. She didn't make payments for spring and fall term because the fees are only accepted on a termly basis. Do you understand? So she now said that, however, I have carefully planned for the remaining tuition payments for both my first and second years. I will make these payments promptly as soon as they appear on my student dashboard. This proactive action underscores my financial readiness and commitment to my academic journey in Canada. Then the next thing is support from my husband. So her husband, I was able to advise, I said, okay, let her husband put money into her account because her earnings were not enough to show that she can take care of herself. So, but according to the Canadian embassy laws, Canadian visa laws, you and your husband are one. They are one entity. So when your husband gives you money, it doesn't serve as a lump sum. So I asked the husband, increase the money, and we provided the solution. Then the next, so we're able to write that what the husband did, the amount, and then we now did breakdown of expenses. Like I would say, in the breakdown of expenses, we put the amount in debit, amount in credit, amount, then the balance. So we made sure that what we had in, after covering the expenses, the balance was more than enough. And then so that's what answered. Those were the solutions we provided. So if you want us to write this later for you, and you want to speak to me, please send a mail. And don't send me a mail be telling me that, please, Charlie, I want you to help me. I'm not doing free service for anybody. If you want me to give you my professional service, you send me a mail, and I'm going to start writing placing my Calendly link on all my channels so that you can be able to book through Calendly. And then follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and let's get the numbers out. Don't be scared. Visas are still being given by the Canadian embassies. They're just trying to reshuffle. So some of you are scared and they have thrown in the towel. If you do the right thing, you get your visa approved. Now, until I come your way next time, stay glued to this channel, hit the notification button, like, subscribe, and share to your friends and your loved ones, because we are offering value. Thank you, and don't stop watching Drift.